Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of KO Play. Today I'm going to be taking a look at one of my favorite games from my childhood, and that is Top Gear on the Super Nintendo. Released by Kemco in 1991. It's probably my favorite racing game on the Super Nintendo, maybe just aside from Super Mario Kart, but that's a different type of racing game. This one takes itself a little more seriously. So you start off the game and you basically make a little profile. So I'm gonna go ahead and give my racer a name. There we go. Now I like to have control of the gears, so I'm gonna pick manual. I'll stick with the original controller input, and I'm going to take. Well, you get to choose between one of four cars. I'm going to take the white car, also known as the Sidewinder, but you have the choice to pick from the Cannibal, the Razor, and the Weasel. Now, it doesn't tell you these names in the game itself, but in the instruction manual, that's where it's present. So, aside from that, switch it to miles per hour because I live in America, and here we go. We're just going to get started in Las Vegas, USA. So, USA is going to be our first circuit. Nothing better than that music to start off a circuit. Oh, I guess I get the pleasure of racing the fastest car in the game. My car is supposed to accelerate quicker. Not off to a very good start. That's okay. We'll win this race. So, when you're racing, all your opponents are variations of the car that you and your opponent drive. And they don't call this game Top Gear for nothing. You want to be in Top Gear as soon as possible. You want to get there. So you're going to hit your top speed. Not doing too bad, already in first place. Now you can see it's a split screen, so you can see your opponent in the bottom. Kind of wish that was a feature they would have changed, or at least been able to turn it on or off. You know, it would be nice to have the whole screen to myself, but it is handy in some of the later races where, your opponent's trying to pass you and you can swerve in front of them and they can crash into you and give yourself a little speed boost. I'm going to use one of my nitros. There we go. First place. So this is the easiest of all tracks, and I probably made it look pretty difficult, but I haven't played it in a little while. Yeah, your opponent's name is just Computer. Wish you could name them as well. So here we are in Los Angeles, California. I tell you, it doesn't look like LA. Not that I've ever been there. The pictures I've seen would lead me to believe that this is not how LA looks. Oh boy, banging into a bunch of opponents right from the get-go. There we go. That's why I picked this car. I mean, that's not the only reason, but it has the best handling. I'll pick other cars throughout the later tracks, but I like the white car the best, the Sidewinder. It's the slowest top speed, but it has the fastest acceleration and the lowest fuel consumption, and the best handling, so... I mean, I know it's mostly a beginner's car, but I've always just done really well with it. You get these little downhill sections, really give yourself a speed boost there. So I can see first place. Pass him. There we go. It would have been a cool option, too, to have the ability to have changed colors for your car. I know lots of Super Nintendo racing games that did that. The first one that comes to mind is Battle Cars. It's hardly a racing game. Yeah. See, that's where that second screen does come in handy. I just kind of ward him off. I saw him coming up on me. So we're on our final lap. I'm going to go ahead and start using some of these nitros a little bit, because I'm not going to outrun him for very long. He's got a much faster car. Ooh, and that's rough. Time to use one. That'll even the score a little bit. So past him, we're gonna use another one. You get 3 per race. Top it off with yet one more. Ooh. Of course, I ram into the back of an opponent, you know, someone I'm lapping. But I came in first. Probably didn't have to use that last one, but I like to. Now, I want to say that the music is very outstanding in this game. Obviously, it is very memorable tracks. I find myself humming these at work, but they repeat themselves through every circuit in the game, so it can get a little tiring. But here we are in New York City. Oh boy. Big bad New York. It's nighttime even. There we go, I got the jump on him this time. Just had to get back into the rhythm of it. I know you want to shift fast, especially with this car. I think it's cool because it's at nighttime and you can actually see that there's headlights in front of the car. So they took into account a few things. This is a really good track. It's not very difficult, but it's a lot of fun. So here we are on this nice big straightaway. There we go. Yeah, I'm pretty cheap. If you ever played this game against me in real life, I'd probably be doing the same thing. I've gotten so used to it over the years. Trying to conserve nitros. I don't really want to have to use one, but I might have to very quickly here, now that he's in first place. The Cannibal. I always thought that car looked a bit like a Ferrari Testarossa. Sort of. And that the white car sort of looked like a DeLorean. Maybe more like a Lotus Elise, or I'm sorry, oh, there is a Lotus I'm thinking of. I don't know if it's the Elise. Esprit. So he's not too far ahead of me. I'm kind of juggling the lead with him. That's good, because I don't want to have to use all my nitros very quickly just to catch up to him. Even though, you know, there are other cars in the game that are faster, I still much prefer having the good traction and the low fuel consumption. Makes a big difference in certain races. Alright, I think it's time to gun a nitro. We'll use another one. Get us up to a good speed. Leave him behind. I always keep crashing into one of the opponents. Oh well. So I got a decent point lead now, just trying to qualify. Here we have San Francisco, California. This is the first race of the game that kind of lets you know it's going to get difficult. It's going to start getting difficult. And the way they do that is by adding pits, and you'll see what I mean shortly. Actually, to the right there, there's a pit stop. And, you know, your fuel consumption, that's where this really matters. For example, the red car that uses the most, the Cannibal, that uses the most amount of fuel. So, inevitably, that car will have to refuel this level, but I've played it a number of times. I know that while using the Sidewinder, I'm not going to have to refuel. I can run the whole race, use all my nitros, and even make a couple of mistakes without having to refuel. It'll be low near the end, my fuel level will, but I won't actually have to make a pit stop anywhere. So I'm just going to let him pass me, I'm not too worried about that. He's going to actually have to come and make a couple of seconds stop. Get this guy out of the way. Now I'm in second place. Alright, we're at the head of the pack. Another thing funny about this race, at least on this difficulty, is that you can stay in the middle lane almost the entire way. It's your safest place. Any of the obstacles are not gonna you know, interfere with you. And I got lucky there, you see, he smashed into the back of a car, so now I got a nice jump on him. So the computer does make mistakes. It's still a very easy track, despite the pits, despite the length of it. There's no, like, hairpin turns, really. There's no crazy hazards. It's a very easy track. The music's good, too. I can't stop myself from saying it. The music is great in this game. I like how you can see the Golden Gate Bridge in the background. The San Francisco Bay Area. But every, you know, like 180 degrees you turn, there's another Golden Gate Bridge. It doesn't make any sense. Not even 180 degrees, like every 90 degrees. See, he had to go and pit there. Now this is what I was saying about the full screen. Notice there's like a big difference in quality now. Like it actually looks much smoother on my screen. Then he pulls out, and it gets reduced back to like kind of a... It's not horrible, it's just kind of choppy looking. I know, at least Top Gear 2, you have the whole screen to yourself. I assume Top Gear 3 as well. I have them both, but I haven't really played either of them. Those weren't the games I grew up with. I rented them occasionally. It wasn't until recently that I acquired them. So, you know, I'll definitely play around with them at some point. But this game I loved ever since I was a kid, so I had to play it again. I figured why not make a video. And you see I got low fuel level. He's nowhere near me. I haven't even used a nitro yet. So I'm doing alright, but I'm going to go ahead and fire one up. Cross the finish line at 170 plus. And wait for my opponent to finish. There he goes. Alright. So I end the circuit with 80 points, my opponent ends with 60, and that qualifies me to get to the next country. And you see they include a password, Moonbath. I'm probably going to be using a few of these from time to time, because I don't feel like playing this whole game through the course of one night. So I'll probably come back to it here and again, but it's nice that they do that, though. And there we go. So we're in Brazil now, and I'm going to cut the episode right here. Thank you for watching. Check out the next one.